do you know? Happy New Year to everybody. This is Facts of the Matter 2021 and the very first one this year. I'm going to start off by saying a big thank you to everyone that has watched, that has tuned in all of last year, those who went in every I've got people joining already, those who joined in practically every session, every Tuesday, the wonderful guests and all that. Man, I've got great people here. Joseph Briggs, how you doing, my brother? Pastor Boye, thank you so much. Miss T, I think we became friends today. It's lovely. Thank you also. Oh, my wonderful sister Nikki Finest is in the house. Listen, thank you all for joining in already. Last year, you made this talk show such a great success. To be honest with you, I did not. I anticipated it will be a great success, but the kind of support you guys showed towards it, in the sense that some of you even so look forward to it, you schedule it, and when you miss it, I know one or two people who missed it, and they contacted me via Facebook, like WhatsApp, bro, you got to send me the replay, I need to watch it, and they went in to watch, and it's just amazing. It was amazing, absolutely, and I know we're taking off to a great start. Thank you so much, Joseph Briggs. You're the man. You're doing great work, and I hope someday really we'll be able to work together. I thank you for what you're doing right there in Ghana and Nigeria, how you're doing your stuff. Great stuff. My guest is here already, but before I bring him on, yeah, so 2020 and now 2021. No doubt you'll have great expectations for the year, and indeed you should. But in case it hasn't taken off to the ideal start that you imagined it to be, let me just quickly say that, listen, just hang on in there, keep pushing through, keep plodding through. And I've got another wonderful brother who's joined, Benga Ali. This guy was my schoolmate in secondary school. It's great to have you joining, my dear brother. How is it going? How's the family? It's great. Dimitri Shats, I can't, sorry if I miss you. I'm going to pronounce your name. Chatzidis. I hope I got that right. Okay. Right. So my guest, let me turn myself down a bit. I'm not even sure you can hear it, but I'm enjoying my own music playing in the background now. If you haven't caught up with my single that I released last year, a worship song titled Worthy, you need to, it's an amazing song of worship. You all need to join in. Go on YouTube, find it. I've got a video to it as well. So I'm gonna turn myself down just a little bit so I can hear myself. Okay, so I have my guest today, the first guest this year. Now I can't remember exactly when we first met, but he left an impression on me. It was his look, his gait. In fact, I'm not gonna give it away right now because it's gonna form part of our conversation. So I'm gonna bring him on. Let me see, where you at? Trying to request, and let's see what happens. Hey JJ, it's all good, man. You're my man. You're my bro. Hope you're well. Look at my man. My brother is in
Hey,
the house. Pastor Allen Caiquo is in the house.
hey, bro.
Happy New Year. How are you
Here, let me
doing?
just put that. I'm very well. I'm very well. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me on here. I'm super excited to be here.
Okay, hold on. First of all, I'm sitting behind the clock just to let me know that when the time is up, you finish this. Is that why you're sitting behind the clock? Oh my God, I like the backdrop. You're very mindful of time and all that. Yeah, it's all
Thank
good.
you.
It's all
Thank
good.
you. Thank
How are
you,
you
sir.
doing?
Thank you. I'm great. I'm doing very well. I'm extremely grateful to God for seeing another year, and for the fact that his faithfulness is new every morning, and
Yes,
again his goodness is sure for this
yes,
year. So I'm great. I'm
absolutely.
doing very well. The family is
Praise
doing
God.
great as well. How about you? How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, doing by the grace of God, we're doing well. It's been an interesting year so
Mm,
far. In fact, I'm gonna just go straight into it. You know how, and this actually forms part of a presentation I'm putting together for a group of artists and all that from Africa around the world who actually to speak and
Okay.
say something. And we were also looking forward to 2021, especially with the way 2020, what the things that took course in 2020. We were like, we
Yeah.
can't wait for this year to be over, to be over. And then, okay, so we've spent the first week 2021, and it seemed to have taken a different kind of start compared to what people expected. And I'm very, well, I sort of had that inkling, but I caught myself like, listen, if you do not actually plan how you want this year to run, it can easily, if not even worse,
Yeah.
because so
Yeah.
far,
Yeah.
I mean, I work with the NHS, and already the number of people that I know who have passed away just
Mm.
this 1 week,
Mm. Mm.
it shakes you.
Mm.
So,
Wow. Wow.
but we're plodding on, we're plodding through and believing that
Mm.
yes,
Mm.
2021 will be greater than 2020. But I
Exactly.
reckon you
Exactly.
got to do a bit
Exactly.
more than just saying.
Exactly. I think one of the challenges that people had, or one of the mistakes that people made, was that when 2020 hit us unexpectedly, a lot of people allowed their life to come to a standstill. You know,
Wow,
when everything stopped, it was planning time, it was recalibrating time, it was
time to recalibrate.
and
Yes.
rejuvenate. But a lot of people stayed still, stood still, just watching the time pass, anticipating
Right,
what is going to
right,
happen in the following year.
right,
But for a lot of
right.
people who use 2020 for planning and preparing, you're
Yes.
going to realize that in 2021 it's taking off, and everybody's thinking, oh, it seems the same, but they are off to a good start because they had all the plans made and they're actually riding along with everything that they plan to do. So 2021 is going to be a great year.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is a preacher already. I asked him a simple question. He's in his quoting chapter and verse already. He's a man is preaching.
No, no, no.
You can't help a preacher really. When we speak, you just know that no, this guy,
It just
this one,
comes out.
and nothing to be ashamed of, is something to be proud of, to be a servant
That's
of God like
right.
that.
That's
Listen,
right.
got so many people that have joined in, and I reckon a lot of them are your friends because I'm seeing Chosen Saving here, Jackie Joe, Paint
Wow.
BYC, Nana Pra, Tumba, Belma Bill Project. Hello, Jagbird, sir. Jagbird, he and I, we know each other a long time ago. How's it going, brother? He's waving at you. Oh, Annette Afia, you man, you're popular, man. Gosh, man, when I grow up, I want to be
I
as
wish I
popular
was
as
as
you.
popular as you, man. I've always wanted to be like Wole, I want to be like Wole, please.
Bro, stop swearing. We
No,
know.
this one is true. I remember the first time we met was AGMA. We
Was
were
it Agma?
preparing for
Okay,
AGMA back then
okay.
at Zanzibar. It was at Zanzibar.
That was the first one ever. That was the first
That's
one.
right. That's right.
Oh
That's
my
right. That was the
goodness.
first one when we
Wow.
had Uche and all those guys come around.
Maybe that was why, because normally I would remember events. Maybe that was why I couldn't remember that Agma
Yeah,
being the
yeah.
first.
The
And I
first
was
one,
put under a
yeah.
lot of pressure because I was working with Uncle Charles and the organizers at
That's
the
right.
time
That's right.
too closely,
The
but
press
to open the worship
was
with the sound. Sorry, say that again.
it was at the press conference. We had the press conference before the main event.
Ah,
So it was at the press conference.
well, hold on. I didn't say. Did I sing at the press conference? Did I say anything? I
Yeah,
don't
the press
remember.
conference. Actually, I think you were interviewed at the press conference. They interviewed you at the
Right.
press conference. Yeah, they
Okay.
interviewed you at the press
Okay.
conference. I was like, oh, who's this guy? Ooh. And then
Wow.
like
Wow.
some of us who used to roar at the time. I mean, it's been our style, just
We are
roaring our
still
way
rolling,
through.
man.
And exactly. And then I heard this voice, this smooth voice. I was like, woo.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You said I was being interviewed, so I didn't
Yes,
sing. I don't remember singing. Did I
yes,
sing? Oh,
afterwards, there was a bit of a thing going, and I was like,
oh
"Oh, who's
my
this guy?"
goodness! It's been that long. Gosh,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
man,
yeah,
man.
yeah. It's been a
Listen,
few
you got
years, man.
Emmanuel Smith is in the house. A brother is here.
Hey, oh boy, Emmanuel.
I got the dangerous guy, man. It is just,
Hey, listen, listen.
and
This is a
he
big
still
boy now.
refuses to loan me his hair. I need fire on
I
my
just
head.
want a bit of the one here, you know.
Oh!
As for the top, I've given up. I've given up on the top. I'm just looking for a bit on the side and down here.
I think he needs to insure the hair because a lot of us are fighting for,
A lot of pressure
he needs to
going into
insure
that
it.
hair.
But but seriously, the first time I think when I took note of you and I really noticed you, I thought, hold on, uh, this guy, I don't think I would like to meet him in a dark alley because he's all beefed up, his beard. This guy just beat blue, and then I heard you say, you sang actually. I think, Lord Jesus is Lord. Even bouncers are going into heaven.
Oh my God.
Oh
Now
my.
see what's left of me. You know, you become a pastor and all the fasting and with the lockdowns, it's all gone now.
You had your chance back there, but now
I
God
tell
is
you,
using it,
I
use you
tell
to,
you,
to
I tell
waken
you.
some more than wow. So
I
let's crack on with this. So a lot of us probably don't know enough about you, and we would like to know because that's what this show is about. We just bring the minister, the artist, the person. We want to know their background. We're going to be laughing. That's what this program is about. We don't. It's not to. If we get into preaching and teaching, as we do, fantastic. In fact, expect that to come along. So, your background. Where are you? Were you a first child, an only child, the last born? When were you born? UK, Ghana, or America, or
Yeah.
Australia? Goodness, or was it even China? We don't know. So I don't know. So tell us.
Okay, I was born and raised in Ghana. I was
Okay.
born and raised in Ghana in a place called Kolegono. I don't know if you heard about Tawali. He comes
Okay.
from that area, by the sea, where all the
Right.
crudeness is and all the rough boys are. And so I grew
Right.
up there. I was born and raised there, and we moved on further into the city and then out into the industrial sites. And
Okay.
I schooled in Ghana. My that I remember are more in secondary school. When I was in the boarding house, I was in the cadet, I was part of the martial arts group. And so I was a bit of a rough, I had a bit of a
Martial
rough,
arts school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was one of, I was a black belt then in St. Augustine's College. Yeah, one of the black
You
belts
see,
at the
my
time.
instincts were right. Oh my Lord Jesus. I knew this God that I serve never
But
leaves
you see,
me.
the
And
truth
my
is,
instinct,
when I was in secondary school, I was a very skinny boy. I was very skinny. I was
the
skinny.
skinnier, the better. The skinnier, the faster. Have you noticed Bruce Lee was skinny and it was the
But it
fastest
was,
hand?
I tell you, I tell you. So it was in secondary school that I actually started getting a bit more. I've always been a church mouse, always with my
Okay.
mom. I'm the youngest of two, so everybody used to
Oh,
call me
okay.
my mom's handbag. Always with my
Ah,
mom. Wherever my mom is, I'm there. Choir practice, I'm there. She's in prayer meeting, I'm there. Wherever she goes, in the market, I'm there with my mom.
oh
So it was
wow.
in secondary school when I got to join the cadet. That is when I
Okay.
started developing a bit of, the radical side because of, I was a 2IC as well, second in command. So the shouting, the screaming, the
Wow.
roots match, all the hardcore stuff. It started growing from there. And because of my position in the cadet, so I used to lead the whole school when we were going for competition. I used to be part of the athletics team as well. I used to throw the discus. So
Wow.
when we're going for competitions and stuff like that, I lead a school of about 3,000 students. I lead them in praises, like not praises, but taunting songs,
Wow.
teasing the other schools. And, so that is where, if you see me doing praise and worship and,
I
like,
hear
that
you.
is where it came from.
That's where,
That,
wow.
that is
Wow.
where it came from. Yeah. So
Interesting.
from there, I went to the university. It was between secondary school and university that I actually got born again and started getting deep into the things of God,
Right.
where I became a prayer secretary for the Ghana Methodist Students Union and
Oh
stuff.
wow.
So it was from there, then I furthered my education in the UK. So I came here when I was about 20 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, then I came here to study, joined a few ministries from there, followed a few men of God, had a few mentors. So it was about 2005 that I
Right.
decided that, you know what, I wanted to take things to the next level. So I joined
Right.
a particular church, and the choir was good, the choir director was good. So I started developing my gifting of music actually in about 2005. So in
Right.
2010, I formed the group Alan and the New Wave.
Right.
It was in 2010 that I formed the group Alan and New Wave. And then we started obviously moving out of the church to go to conferences and events, and obviously got nominated for AGMA and all of that stuff. So in
Yeah.
2010, we started our annual concert. So every other year, sorry, biannual. So every other year, we would hold a concert. And in 2013, that was when we held our last one. I mean, the place was packed and everything. Then there was a bit of a rebranding to come back as a solo artist, because different things, people had to go to different things, different walks
Right.
of life.
Right.
Everybody's status changed. So 2013 break up, and 18, so we had the Alone with the Lord concert. The final one was in 2013, and then
Okay.
the rebranding. So in 2018, I came back with the Raw concert,
Okay.
which was the
Okay.
Rise of the
Let's
Remnant.
pause
So
there. Let's pause there because you spilled a lot right there. Okay.
oh wow.
That's man. That's wow. That's quite a lot. A lot of activities that you've undertaken.
Yeah,
Um.
yeah.
In fact, I think your nature has dictated what you went into because you were just going in for it, going in for it, going in. It was a great thing. Now let me
Yeah.
bring it back a bit. Now you've said something about your mom. What about your dad? Is your dad
I grew up with my mom. My mom was a single mom. I grew up with my dad, my mom. I know my dad. I know where he is.
okay?
I've never
Okay.
had a relationship with him.
Never.
I mean, I don't know if this is the platform to be real, but there are a few times when, obviously, through church, I was told, you need the father's blessing. You need to contact your father. So I made the moves that I needed to, and he denied. He said, no, he's not my dad, blah, blah, because I think his new family did not know about me. So
Right.
that side of things got a bit rough. So I just left it because, listen, I'm a big man. I'm not here to come spoil somebody's home, so I just left it. So it was later on that my siblings reached out to me and said, you know what, never forget about that everybody knows him. It's just something they never spoke about. So I've been in contact with my siblings. We've had that we speak every now and then, but I've
Oh
never
wow.
had that relationship with him.
Wow.
Hopefully someday I'll get to
Wow. Wow.
have that communication again. Yeah, yeah.
You,
But
you,
I
you
grew
know,
up with a
let me
single
let me
mother.
let me first of all affirm that this is the platform to go
Okay.
all in like that. No, for real. Um, maybe
Okay.
I'll post to you and anybody else who wishes, they can contact me directly. Of some of the other interviews that I've had here, people went in and we started finding out that a lot of people were into dysfunctional backgrounds. The ministers that you
Mm,
see,
mm,
all
mm.
groups right now, dysfunctional background. Emmanuel Smith, he was sharing with us, single mother thing kind of as well. My dear sister Shola, she was even came from a family where they worshipped idols,
Wow.
not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
secular,
Wow.
proper idol. My sister Nikki Seriki, her dad as well, nothing to do with religion
Mm,
whatsoever.
mm,
So
mm.
this because these things go to encourage so many other people to let
Yeah.
them see
Yeah.
that, hey, you
Yeah.
are not alone. I was there. This is how I got through. And
That's right.
it's
That's right.
our lives are being poured out
That's
like
right.
water right now.
Yeah.
And people,
Yeah.
so absolutely. So,
I mean, for years, it
right,
haunted me, because of the fact that I made the attempt, and then listen, the first contact I made with him, he was so excited. Oh my God, so where are you? I said, I'm in the UK. Oh, when I come to the UK, I'm gonna come and look for you, blah, blah, blah. So it
wow.
was his birthday that I called him again just to wish him a happy birthday, but I think I
Yeah.
caught him at the wrong time. So then he was like, oh, who's this? Oh, I don't remember who. Oh, it might be one of my brothers because the name Caiquo in Ghana is a big name. So everybody
Okay.
knows the name, you know.
Right.
So it might just be my brother. But he didn't know that when I was younger, I was about 10. My mom had gone to get some documents from him. So I had
Right.
met him, you know,
You had a,
and
yeah,
I was in the
mental
car
him.
with my mother at the time, and he was speaking to my mom in front. He has a hospital. He has his own hospital in Ghana. So
Oh
they were in
wow.
front of the
Okay.
hospital having a conversation. And then my mom was like, "Oh, let your driver come in." So that tells I was probably about 15 at the time. Yes. Let your driver come in. And my mom was like, that's not my driver, that's my son. And then he put his head down and then walked into the hospital. So they both went in. So it was from
Oh,
that day that I developed some anger. I developed some
oh my.
anger against him. Like for years, I think it was only up until 2014 that I would speak about it and not cry. It was
Wow.
only up until 2014, you know, and it was at that point I was feeling, listen, I don't need anything from you. I just need you to, you know, put your hands in my head and pray for me as a father. And it's damned. I don't need money. I don't need, you know, it
Wow.
was all of that kind of thing. But you know, we get through it. I mean, my wife has had to suffer. Sometimes I used to be there in the middle of the night, just break down. I'll be crying. She have to ask me, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Oh, maybe if I had a dad, my life would have been different." Blah blah blah. You know. So all those things used to get me.
Wow.
And obviously,
Wow.
growing up with a single mother, you can imagine in Ghana, a single mother working hard to raise up two boys. That was a lot of pressure. So it also
Oh
had
my.
its own challenges to come with it. And you'd be thinking to yourself, "Oh, if it was a man, maybe it would be different." Even to the point when I had my eye about to be doing something wrong. That if I had that impact, if I knew how a father deals with a son, then maybe I'd know better. You know, but I've come to realize that, listen, in as much as you would wish for things like that, I'm grateful for where I am, because
Yes.
if I
Yes.
had, my
Mm.
life would have been totally different.
Right.
The kind of
Right.
friends I have, the kind of school I went to, I
Wow.
may have ended up a mess, not in
Wow.
ministry, not
Oh
in
wow.
ministry at all. You know, so every
Gosh.
now and then I look back, I take stock, and if you leave me, I'll talk the whole time.
Oh wow. 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 Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, wow, that is interesting because this is the different angle we're seeing things from, because I think the others either never saw their dad or they hadn't met, but for for let me ask, was he also the dad to your younger your older brother? Was it
My
did you
older
have an
brother,
older
no,
brother?
he's not. No, no.
Okay, so it's a
My older
different
brother
your
has,
older
yeah,
brother.
he has a dad. Yeah,
Okay.
different dad. Yeah.
All right. That's interesting. But wow, so going through all of that. I can imagine because it's well, you know, you said something about you wondering what life would have been back then if you had a
Mm,
father, if there was a physical presence of the father, and it makes us to it brings in again, it drives it back home again when you think you have it bad, that somebody else has it worse,
mm,
and
mm,
you know that void that you felt was there. Uh, Somehow I believe God came in and filled it somehow. If he
mm,
filled it and is
mm.
but then for you to now translate that and say that it's possible that your life wouldn't have been what it is now.
Of course, of course.
Even,
Yeah.
you know, I'm guessing he's not so much a Christian, or it doesn't really
Oh, he
follow.
is. He is. He
Okay.
is an elder in the church, and you
Okay.
know, yeah, and all sorts. Yeah, yeah, he is. I mean, he's into the church. He's more in the traditional church because I grew up in the Methodist church. You
Okay.
know, so he is a Methodist. He's in the Methodist
He's a
church and everything.
Methodist church.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's good. But
yeah.
how is the relationship now? Is it, you know, is there a relationship or is it
There's never been. In
okay?
fact, there isn't a relationship. But I'm still hoping. I mean, I just want to have a chat with him. You know, that's all. Nothing. You know,
Yeah.
my older sisters have called me. They've had a connection. I mean, even to the point where his aunt, one of the aunties that he lived with, is still in contact with me, like literally
Oh wow.
sends message through my mom all the time. Oh, I'm 70, call him, I need him to pray for me. You know, I've been to visit her in her home, we've shared, you know, so it's like I have a connection with everybody else but him, you know.
But
So
yeah,
hopefully,
wow.
hopefully, sometime this year, I'm hoping that I'll pay him a visit and just have a chat and just have
You
a
know
chat
what?
sometime this year.
I think
Hoping,
that would
yeah,
be a great thing, and I'm so grateful to God that you're not holding that spirit of unforgiveness is not in you. You are set free from that, and you are
mm,
actually you know the blessing of a father. You know my dad and also my spiritual father, Pastor Matthew, would teach time and again and say, listen, don't think, well, he treated me bad or he wasn't there for me. My father did this, but I've said, listen, for your benefit, you seek his blessing because there is that
yeah,
blessing a
yeah,
father carries
yeah,
that you can only come from them. Now,
yeah.
for some people, it might end up being a spiritual father impacting
That's
them. But
right.
if
That's
your
right.
father is still
That's right.
alive, don't for your own good, don't hold it against,
Yeah, yeah.
don't have it might be your daddy because there's a difference between a daddy and a father.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it might be
Yeah,
your daddy through whom you came, but
yeah,
the and in this case,
yeah.
when God has held you, and I'm sure there were some other
Mm,
great men of
mm.
God who were
Of
there
course,
before.
of course,
Are
of course.
brilliant, brilliant. So coming over from Ghana to the UK to further your studies, what was the experience like? Was it a culture shock, or you managed to just blend into the culture nicely, and your accent just British accent just came over nice? Or were you like me when I came and said, "How are you, sir?"
I mean, moving to the UK, my mom is a bit of a UK, lady from when we're growing up. She is a bit more of a lady,
Okay,
watching all the stone birds, and so she used to come here a lot. So we grew up in
right,
a home where English was like literally you have to learn the English. My mom was an
right,
English
right.
literature,
Sure.
thing, so you had to. But the shock for me was when I came I came in with a suitcase, a
Okay,
briefcase,
okay,
and, and when I it still makes me
okay.
laugh because I've got that picture somewhere in my office, and every time I see it, I just laugh because as soon as I walked through the airport, my brother took the picture, and you should see me with my oversized suit. I don't know why I came in a suit, but in my oversized suit with my briefcase,
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
when I came in, the first place I went to was Lewisham, you
Okay.
know, just on George Street by the hospital. And I was asking
Yeah.
my brother, seeing all the Trumps and everything, I was like, this can't be UK. Like, nah, this is not true. Like, the place used to be dirty, like
Wow.
proper dirty, and that area as well. Back then, it was a
Yeah.
lot of Africans and Jamaicans, so the place was
Yes.
like rough at the time.
Rowdy and
So
all
I
that.
was
Yeah.
like, nah, this can't
Yeah.
be the place. Like, no, no, and coming in, I had to live with my brother for a bit. It
Okay.
was there that a lot of things changed because living with him and seeing how life was, I had to go
Yes.
to Newbold College, which was in Reading. So I was thinking to myself, if I go to Newbold College, staying in boarding house, I'm gonna have to put the pressure on my mom to be sending me money and paying my fees, and stuff. So straight away, I told my brother, you know what, I want to start working. So I got myself a job at Morrison's you
Okay.
know. And then I was thinking I'd been given the visa to study, so I enrolled for ACCA. Listen, don't
Okay.
laugh at my oversized suit, too.
You know what? That's right there is my secondary school
I'm gonna
buddy.
post that picture one of these days.
I think you should. I think you should. You know, there you go.
I tell you,
My
I
friend
tell
Bingus
you.
just identified with your story. He said
That's right.
your end
That's
story is
right.
similar to his. In fact, I've got some great people. You're gonna carry on in a second, but I've got eBay, a giant killer. You know, he's here.
Wow.
He's a
Wow.
presenter on Premier Radio, Premier Gospel, and Premier Radio.
Okay. Wow.
Let me just shout out quickly. I think there's a lady called KRYS, Chris, Michael O, Fred Badu, Charles Emeka, my wonderful sister Paulina Romero, who's one of the wonderful worship leader in KICC.
Wow.
Peculiar Okwe, who himself is an amazing person, thank you, or herself rather. Yeah, it's oversized suit and suitcase. All right. Actually, yeah. Why would you come in a suit? Was it winter? Was it summer?
I came in autumn. I remember it was the 26th of September when I got into this country.
Okay. Was
26th
it?
of September. And so,
Okay.
but I don't know for some reason. When I was growing up though, I grew up on suits. My mom would like she wanted this gentleman. So every day I was in suit, literally. Apart from school, I'm in church. Church was suit. Nothing. In fact, jeans and t-shirt was only for if I'm going to a party.
Wow.
But if I'm going anywhere, suit, because my
Suit.
mom would, everything was suit, you know.
Wow.
So it
Interesting.
was when I came in here and saw the situation that I
Yeah.
started working in Morrison's, then enrolled to do chartered accounting,
Okay.
you know, instead of going to New Bold to be in the boarding house so I could work. And it was only a matter of time before work and money and come on, a young guy
Yeah.
walked into the
Yeah.
country with £100 in my pocket. And now I'm seeing money coming in and
Yeah.
school. And I was juggling the two. So
Yeah. Okay.
it used to be so, I mean, I wake up around 2 and then I go to Morrison's because I used to work in the bakery. So we start
Sorry.
work around
Is that
3,
2 p.m. or 2 a.m.?
2 in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. So I go to Morrison's at 2 because we used to work in the bakery to make sure that
Right.
everything is ready by the time the shop opens at 6.
Okay.
It used to be Safeway at the time.
Right.
So
Right.
I
Yes.
go in and then I will go and get everything ready. And then at 10 o'clock, I will leave and go to uni. Go and do. I
Okay.
used to be in Emil Wolf in London Bridge. So I'll go from Lewisham to Peckham, then Peckham to London Bridge. And then I'll finish lectures around 6, you know, and after 6, I have to go to church. So I go to church, which finishes around 9. By the time I get home, it's about roughly about 10 o'clock, sleep 2 a.m., get up again and boom. So I
And
had that
wow.
cycle. I had that cycle for a
Wow.
very long time. Yeah, for a
Wow.
very long time. And then with the
Right.
ACC and everything, when I got to my second stage, and I just got a
Yeah.
bit bored, you know. So I started
Okay.
working as a security guard, and I was getting almost £1,500 a month at that time. This was around
Oh
2000
wow.
and yeah, 2002, 2003, thereabout. So I thought to myself, you know, if I'm making this amount of money, do I really need to
Wow.
go to school and all of
You
that?
could you
So
could you could apply for a mortgage with that kind of income.
listen, I was making money. Needless to say, I wasted all of it because I didn't
Oh
have any advisors and mentors at the time. So if you're listening to me and you're making that kind of money, get yourself a mentor.
wow. Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Gosh,
So I,
interesting.
I I left all of that. I started working, and then in no time, the company I was working for, Travis Perkins at the time, the
Okay.
company I was working for,
Yeah.
I started going into the offices to help them. So it was only a matter of time. They saw that, oh, this guy's got some brains on him,
In
you
this
know. So they
industry.
moved me from security, and they actually employed me as a
Oh,
counter sales guy in the
wow.
company. And
Okay.
within a matter of 4 years or so, I had become a sales office manager in the same
Wow.
company. Yeah, so it was like
Man.
that, and then things just changed. So it was 2013 that I thought, you know
Wow.
what? 2013, yeah, I thought, you know what? I need to go back to school because my mom was always on my case. You need to get yourself a degree. Even the kids here have got masters. You need a degree. And I said, you know, I'm just gonna go get you a degree and I'll post it to you. And then
African
it's that.
mothers. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah.
So I went into Greenwich at the time to do
Okay.
business management, and I got
Okay.
myself a first class honors, and I posted it to her. And guess what? When she got in the first statement, she made, oh, first degree. So what? There are people, children here working with masters.
Yep. Yep.
Go and do your
Yep.
masters. When you get your masters, then we can talk. So I
Then we
set
can
it on
talk.
myself. At the time, I told her, Mom, I'm going to get a doctorate and I'm going to give it to you
Oh
before you
wow.
depart from the face of this planet. So I'm in that process right now. I'm still
Oh
working
wow.
on it. So hopefully,
Gosh.
God give us strength. I'll get that and I can pass it on to
Amen to that, brother. But
her.
that's a roller coaster experience, man. You've gone
Yes,
from
yes.
every end. Oh my.
Every angle.
Oh wow. I mean, listen, I can draw your story, that account there is similar to mine because I came also into the country to further my education, you know, and my older sister was here at that time. And it was almost like as soon as I came into the country, the challenge, the struggle started really.
Wow.
But thank God for the kind of training that my parents, you know, had given me, uh,
Mm,
and
mm,
all my siblings and all that. But it came to a point when I got into uni. that, I also my lectures will start at 9 a.m. I studied BEng Computer Systems Engineering
Wow. Oh
from
wow.
City of London University. Well, City of, yeah. And my lectures
Gee.
at, yeah, leave that in alone, Jerry. My lectures will start at 9, and I don't know who came up with that kind of course that was packed with so many modules that from 9 up to 6 and even 7,
Yep.
every
Yep.
hour there was a lecture. And I
Oh.
see some of my other guys who maybe like studying different course altogether, but where we
Mm.
share modules, they will have breaks in between. But mine was full on, like every hour, the 45 minutes break, lunchtime, was to
That's it.
catch up to rush to the library to see if we can get that book before the others get there. So when I finished at
Gee.
6, I would head straight to Mansion House. The real Mansion House. I used to work in Mansion House as we serve the Lord Mayor of
Oh
City of
wow.
London. I used to work with the catering department there to get things, going. And because the mayor would host guests, politicians, bank managers, executive, all these filthy rich people. I'm talking about
Wow.
people
Wow.
who literally walk in wealth. They will come in, dine, and then, so they won't finish until late in the night, and we won't leave until past midnight. So I won't get
Wow.
back home until half one in the middle of the night,
Jeez.
right? No kidding. And I will try to get about 30 minutes or so of revision of the 277 sub modules I was needless to say, no chance, no chance. So, and that will go on day in, day out for, I can't remember how
Mm.
long, but
Mm.
in retrospect, I was grateful to God for that because that was the only routine that could have worked for me because there was no.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
of all, I can't wake up at 2 a.m. like you. I mean, forget it. Even if Jesus came, I'll say, Jesus, listen, come on. You have to come back.
You
Even
have to
Mrs.
come
Rapture,
back
Jesus,
later.
you haven't chosen a good time. Come back. you know. But it's interesting now that, and I'm thinking, I'm wondering how many other people, how many more people have that
Mm.
experience that
Mm.
is
Mm.
untold, and maybe the younger generations do not know, and they think, oh, this lot, they've had it easy, or they've had it so
Yeah.
easily. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it's only by the grace of God that we stand. That's all I
That's
can say.
right.
Only
That's
by
right.
the grace of
That's
God.
right.
All right, let's shift it now. So you are a husband and father. How many children have you got?
I have two. I have two
And
kids.
counting, I know, and counting. So you are
I'm looking to have about 10
to start with, right?
to start with. How to build a
Yeah.
whole generation.
There you go. If what's his name, Isaac or Jacob can have 12. Come on, brother. What are you
Why
talking
not?
about?
Why not?
Leave it alone. Leave that guy. You're a visionary leader. You're the
I
founder and
tell you.
senior pastor of Encounter Church Essex, UK. You're the senior pastor there. You have been a great mentor to many of the artists that we now see today, which I'm going to leave it to you in a minute to mention them. You are an award-winning gospel minister. You're a songwriter, man. I'm even jealous at your bio, man. I think I'm going to put my name. I'll edit this and just put my name. Leave it
You
between
should
us.
you should find out how much I paid who wrote it.
You, you've paid. That's all right. I'll just copy.
I just want to check. No,
Let's
I
leave
just
it
want
that
to
way.
check. I want you to check if it's real. So because maybe I paid them to add some stuff.
It doesn't matter. I like what
That's
I'm
what I'm
reading.
trying to say. Maybe I paid them to enhance it,
So
make it look good.
they've done a good job. I'm loving it. So when did this thing transition from just? In fact, let me go back. Let's bring it back. Who were your musical influence? Was there somebody that you gravitated towards, or or you just found that, okay, I can do this? Who did you listen to? Who would you say had the most influence on you, if any at all, musical wise?
Wise, I think for me it was more Ron Canoli.
Ah,
for years.
Okay,
He
right.
was it was Ron Canoli for years. I mean, I wasn't, because I was in the Methodist church, I was more the hymns. It
Right.
was all about hymns. We didn't
Right.
do very much contemporary. You know,
Yeah.
I think I started doing contemporary when I came to the UK.
Right.
But back home,
Okay.
it was all about the hymns and the groups
Right.
that I was a part of as well. It was more, again, the local artists that we had in Ghana and some of the
That you had
local
in
songs.
Ghana. Yeah.
And if we venture, it will be more to Alvin Slaughter,
Okay.
and Ray
They're very
Boltz, and
similar
that
in
was
their
it.
presentation. Okay.
Yes, and Ray Boltz, and that was, again, I was in a
Ah.
SDA university, so again, it was all hymns.
Okay. Right.
So
Right.
everything was more, yeah. So my musical influences were very limited. It was
Right.
when I
Right.
came here that I started hearing people like Fred Hammond.
That's true.
So that is why I was never, I didn't push myself to develop a very contemporary style. I used to be a
Right.
very kind of hymns kind of
Right.
voice, to a
Okay.
point where when I was trying to transition, I still have some tapes that make me laugh. When I was trying to transition from the choir boy to the contemporary, it's like there's this vibrato. I don't know where it comes from.
Okay.
Popularly, I used to do my "Oh say yeah," and you hear me say "Oh say yeah." I don't know where that comes from. And up till today, like when I listen to those cassettes, I'm like, "Oh my goodness, what was I doing?"
Who is
Where it
this?
came from, but it used to be there. Like, so I mean, that was my transition into the scene of the contemporary. Then I started listening
Right.
to. I never was into like riffs, runs. It was more straight.
Right. Right. Right.
And I
Right.
came from
Right.
a background where shouting was anointing. I came from the background where shouting was anointing. So I didn't get the opportunity to develop my, nah, I didn't
Oh
get
my
any of that.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
You have to go
Right.
in, you have to scream the sound,
Yeah, yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, mind you, because I've been asked the question a few times, and as much as I try to shy away from it, I began to see the honesty behind when people ask, rather than trying
Mm,
to. Just wanted to know how it came about. Like, Wole, how did you get this voice and all that?
mm, mm.
The reason why I'm going to this is because you would not believe my background as well. Being a PK, I'm a preacher's kid, grew up, my dad is still alive and well, my mom passed away last year.
Wow.
Being a PK
Okay.
from ground zero, as in I was born in the church and grew up in the church. Listen, God help you if you were in it in church on a given Sunday. You must be prepared to meet your maker. Basically, that was so. No, but the songs we grew up were traditional Yoruba songs, hymns,
Oh, wow.
hymns,
Wow.
man. It had to be hymns and the local. So, the accent, the runs and no, what runs? What is? I did not even know something like that existed. It
Oh,
was
wow.
very
Okay. Okay.
no. In fact, let me try. Let me try and see if I can sing something. Uh, Ènìyàn ìbá máa yìn Olúwa fún oore rẹ̀ lórí àwa ọmọ ẹ̀dá. Ọpẹ́
You've
yìí
got the riff
àtọ̀lá
still
ni
in
mo
there.
mú wá ò bá. I know. I can't help it now. I
You got.
know. I know. I can't help it. But it
Wow.
was very raw. It was very direct, and we grew up on hymns. And I think everybody should go and learn hymns, because hymns are
Yeah.
so doctrinally
That's right.
sound, so
That's right.
powerful. You
That's
you
right.
you you sing scriptures. You sing them. I think you sing the mind of God in
Yeah. The
hymns. It
man.
makes you
That's right.
reflect.
That's right.
So
That's
as
right.
compared to the chorusy kind of songs we bring out these days. But hey, let's leave that to the side. So, but coming over here, okay, before I even came over, I was exposed to in Nigeria, Boys to Men, MC Hammer.
Hey, one of my favorites. Hey.
Boys to Men, really, it was like if you did not know Boys to Men, you
Yeah. You
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 you must
didn't
have been
exist.
living in the farthest village that's close to the ends of the earth. where if
I
you take
tell you,
one or two steps, you just fall off the planet. That
you
was how
fall off.
it was like. And of course, if to impress the girls, you must know voice tuning.
Oh, you need to know the lyrics.
You need to know the lyrics to impress the girls, and oh my goodness, were we tumbling over to impress so many girls. So, but even then, it was still very raw because we didn't sing anything like that at
Mm,
home. There was not a single record.
you dare not.
Everything was very traditional Christian, not even English. The only English album my dad had was Jim Reeves.
Wow.
Jim Reeves.
Wow.
What was it? In the glory by and by, something like that. You kind of where the highest note Jim Reeves hit was.
Jim Reeves was one of my favorites.
He still is my favorite. To be honest with you, he's I I appreciate that he got this message
I love his
across
style.
without having
Yeah,
all the
that's
fire
right.
and
That's right.
brimstone
That's
surrounding it.
right.
Absolutely. But so I didn't have that, but I came to the
Mm,
UK and it was like you said, it was Dr. Ron Canoli still, it was Don Moen and all that. And then, my sister, when I came, she was here. She took me to her church, which is KICC.
oh
So
wow.
KICC was the first and has been the only church I've been to since I stepped
Wow.
into the country.
Wow.
And
Wow.
from long story short, I got introduced to the same man you just mentioned, Uncle Fred Hammond, who messed
Wow.
up my life. he just messed it up.
It reminds me of Toye. Toye.
Toye, don't worry. That Toye is another one
In
that
the UK,
ruined it for me because for a long time I wanted to be the Fred Hammond of UK. And then when I heard him,
and then he overtook you.
no, he didn't overtake. In fact, I hated Toye. I hated him badly for 1 hour. The whole 1 hour it was ministry. I was just hating him. I said, this guy is a vision. He's a
I
vision
tell
crusher.
you, the vision crusher.
But
Wow.
voice training, the runs and riffs came along
Mm,
for a while. But I think it was more my training, what I was exposed to. I was listening to a lot of R&B.
mm.
Was Fred Hammond. It was commission. It was Winers. Maybe not so much the
Wow.
wine.
Okay.
And then my big sister Kim Burrell came into the scene. And
Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay.
yeah, so I actually studied them. I sat down to listen.
Wow.
I studied.
Wow.
Whenever I bought a Fred Hammond CD or whatever, before playing it for about maybe the first 3 days, I would not play it. I remove this
Wow.
from the CD cover and I would study the lyrics. I would
Wow.
study, okay, why did he write this line? Where did he get it from? So I would have the sleeve open, I would have my Bible open and try to search line by line. Why did it, okay, I didn't know I was teaching myself songwriting. I had no idea.
Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
later I would listen to, okay, the inflection on the voice and all that. But all I was doing, whilst I was doing this, I did not have vibrato. I did not know how to do runs and riffs. I did not know
Wow.
how to do, all I knew was that I had a good tone until
Mm.
going for voice training lesson.
Ah, okay. 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 That's one thing I've never had voice training. Never had voice training. So
Well,
maybe after in, like you can learn a
oh,
few
there you go.
things
Yeah, yeah,
because
listen, it's never too late to have voice training. Is the thing. It's basically how to manage your voice and to get the best out
mm,
of it. But then
I'd love to.
if your makeup, your delivery, your style is so and so, it does not mean you want to end up sounding different or like somebody else. It's just
No,
you're
no, no,
fine
no.
to
I
have.
still want to raw. One of the guys that I
I
love
don't think
now,
you can help it.
the one person whose style I'm praying that I can learn properly is somebody like Zakadi. The guy can scream, but then he still got his thing going. That's what I want to do.
Zakari is not human. That guy is not
That's what
human.
I want to do. At least if there's anything I want to do before I depart from the face of this planet is to say
That
like
that guy is
Zakadi
not
is what
human. Man, he has a mini machine gun in his throat. That's all I
I tell you, he's
He's like,
crazy. He's crazy.
and in fact, for people like us, me, have given up. I said, I'm not even going to wait. If Zakadi was singing next to me, I'll just wait. When you finish, call me so I can sing my
But you
own.
know, one of the things that I admire about your singing, though, is the delivery, the ease with which you deliver. I remember I was telling you that once, the ease with which you deliver. It's like you take it so easy. Like some of us, it's a lot of work. We have to be hyped up. We need to get the energy. You can sing for 1 hour and not break a sweat. You know, that kind of,
Are you sure? The
oh,
last time
bro.
I
And I
tried
love
it,
it.
they had to call the ambulance to pick me up. So careful what you said.
It's just the way he just does it. It's like so relaxed, sophisticated. You know, I call you the sophisticated singer in my head, you know.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow!
So
I
one
don't
day
know.
I'll learn to be sophisticated like that and not raw so
No,
much.
bro, don't be sophisticated. Keep roaring, man. We bring everything to the table, and
Of
it becomes
course,
a
of course,
perfect
of
blend, a
course. That's
perfect
right.
mix
That's right.
of
That's
brilliant
right.
stuff. So,
That's
right.
right.
So this music ministry, when did I'm mindful of time because you have to leave in the next 10 minutes. You have
Yeah.
uh prayer
Yeah.
meeting. So
That's
when
right.
did this? In fact, before I ask that, I want to get this in now. You have a new track coming out soon. Am I right in saying that?
I have a new track out.
Oh,
Grace. Yeah, it's out. Yeah, it was out on the 31st.
wow. Okay.
It means you haven't listened to it.
I did not even know it was out because I saw snippets of dance rehearsals on Facebook, your
Oh,
story. So I did
oh,
not
so it
know it.
means my promotion is poor. So I have to
You
tackle
have
it
to
properly.
put more wood in the fire. Come on, more log
I
in the
hear you,
fire,
sir.
man.
I hear you, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
it's
so
out.
it's
Grace.
out.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
title? Title?
Grace. Grace.
Great. Okay, and on what platform? Spotify, believe all the rest of it.
It's on Spotify. It's on all the platforms. It's also on
Right.
YouTube. I've got a small music video on YouTube as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So for
yeah.
everybody that's watching now, the five of you, those who have come and gone, those who will be watching, please, please, and I'm making this appeal because listen, guys, this is how this thing works, right? Self-funded gospel artists, individual, indie artists, and rest of it. This is how it works. We take from our income, from our 9 to 5 whatsoever, and we put that into studio production, song production, and all that. You ask, you say, well, why are you doing that? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Yes, because God gives us this thing that is so compelling that we cannot
Mm,
but help go and do it. For it to go and get a little bit easier, we need your support, your download, your streaming, your sewing into it. Because yeah, the track might be on sale for 79 pence or 99 pence or whatever, but you deciding to buy it for 20, 30, whatever, I promise you it goes a long way. It doesn't go into
mm.
our pockets where we go and buy an extra packet of chewing gum, but it goes into the next production. Trust me, we're
That's right.
literally saving it up.
That's right.
Yeah, the artists that you admire so much in America, Nigeria, Ghana, whatever, they received help. They got help.
Mm,
We need help.
mm,
So please
mm.
and find Pastor Allen's music, download, contact him on any media that you're watching by right now and say, listen, bro, this is £20. This don't feel it's too small. We will let us be the judge of that. Just, it's never too small. Please to you help us make it happen. Help us make it
Mm,
happen. If we become big and successful, like they say in Africa, if we blow, it's to your glory and it's to the glory of God. You can say that
that's
you're
right.
part of that. So please
That's right.
help us in that. Go on YouTube, subscribe to his channel, watch it, share with others, even if you don't like it. As, as long as it's something to the Lord. We want the views to go up. Okay, let's come back because we got 5 minutes there. So how did it transition from singing and all that to becoming a ministry where you pastor and you pastor a congregation?
Mm. I mean, I was serving in the church for many years
Right,
as a special assistant to a pastor, and for
right,
many years I have known the calling has been there. But
Right.
for me, I had to shy away from it and move away from it because I had to deal with myself. I had to work on myself. You
Okay.
know, I knew that the work of a pastor is not just the preaching. Preaching is like 1%, 1% of the job of a pastor. So I shied
Yes, yes.
away from it. Yeah, I shied away from it. But it was in, I think, 2018, 2018 when one of my brothers, Pastor Randolph, he turned around and said to me that we are only effective. I've forgotten how he put it, but it is in our season of influence that we are effective. Yeah, it is in a
Right.
season of influence that we're
Yeah.
effective. And the Lord has called me, so I should pray about it and take
Right.
steps. And so we prayed about it. And further down, I used to fellowship at a Redeemed Church here in Tilbury. And a
Okay.
woman of God, yeah, a woman, I was there for about 2 years serving, I was their drummer. A
Wow.
woman of God came from Nigeria. And when she finished preaching, I mean, the whole church, I think I was the only person she prophesied to that night. She called me forward
Wow.
and said to
Wow.
me that the Lord said He's called you into ministry. And the last time He spoke to you, you ran away from it and He caused something terrible to happen. This time he said, I am telling you, and if you shy away from it again, I will cause even something more terrible to happen. So
Okay.
it was at that point that I
Okay.
was like, okay, there's no more running, because he had spoken to me and he had given me the niche, the people that he wanted me to minister to.
Right. Right.
He
Right.
called me not for everybody, but he
Right.
called me because he said there is a breed, and that it started. That is why he dropped that roar into my spirit, the rise of a remnant. He said there is a
Wow.
breed of people that he brought up in the church that
Right.
got broken by the church and got so hurt by the church that they don't want to do church anymore. He
Wow.
said, I have called you to those people because of
Right.
your experience to
Mm.
share with them and to
Right.
bring them back to the fold, to show them that
Right.
my love for them is
Right.
different from the love of a pastor for them.
Oh my.
So even though your pastor may have bruised you or the church may have not treated you right, he
Mm.
said God treated you differently, and you need to be able to separate the love of God from the way or your experience with the church.
Wow.
So it was from
Wow.
that point that I was like, you know what,
Wow.
I'm done with this. I'm done with taking time to fix myself. Fix yourself, move on,
Right.
and start doing what God has called you to do. And that is where Encounter Arena came from.
Wow.
The place of encounter. When you have had a real encounter, it's not about
Wow.
church anymore. When you've had
Wow.
a real encounter, it's not about your pastor anymore. Anybody who comes to Encounter Arena, one of the first things I tell them is that I am looking for him like you're looking for him. I'm looking to go to a new dimension like you're looking to. So don't feel any way trying to bypass me to reach him.
Wow.
Don't wait for me to give you a word. If you come into the building, listen out for him. If you don't hear him, I'll tell you what he's saying. But listen out for him, don't listen out for me. And that is what Encounter Arena is all about. And that's what we do. That's what we do
Wow.
in the place.
Wow. 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 Some serious words you dropped there. God. You just said something like to separate the love of God from your experience with the church, because
That's right.
possible the people, because the church is still made up of people who many times are hurting people
And a
themselves.
lot of and a lot of the time, the experience of the people in the church is as a result of their own character.
Hmm.
I have
God.
some
Wow.
abrasion with the church that I'll feel like, oh, but if I look at my character, it is my
Yes.
character that would lead me to a place where the church would treat me in a certain way. Because there are
Right.
still some people in the church training in the same capacity or serving in the same capacity as you that don't have the same experience as you.
Hmm.
So if your experience is different, then you look at your character. If your character is all right, then maybe it's not your fault, it's somebody else's fault, so move on. But if it is your fault or you contributed to it, then you fix yourself and you stay and do what you need to do.
Wow.
A lot of people, I've spoken to a lot of people, and a lot of people are blaming church and pastors for things that they brought on themselves. So anyway,
Oh my
let
my
me not go
my.
into that. But that was my transition from
Wow.
singing into ministry. Yeah.
Whoa, wow. Bless God. And that is such a unique ministry. That is such a unit because there are, in fact, I wonder who is inheriting in one way or the other. And then there are those who have been dealt with very harshly, and
Yeah.
that who have sworn that, you know what, their connection with church is severed, and they would never, grace or the front door of a church. And to have somebody's asking you to sing. Okay, you've got 1 minute. We've got 1 minute before you need to go. But if people need to find your ministry, or maybe they want to come and fellowship, where are you based?
We're based in Grace, just
Okay,
outside. When you come out of the Grace station, we are in the shopping center. We're in the
right.
shopping center, the Queen's Gate Center. That is where we fellowship. But
Queen's Gate
because of the
Center,
pandemic,
that's in Grace in Essex.
yeah, from last year we haven't
Yes.
gone back, so we are online at the moment. We're still streaming online, so you can join us on
Okay.
Facebook, Encounter Arena. If you type in
Right.
Encounter Arena on Facebook, we're there. We're also starting to use our YouTube channel, Encounter Arena TV. So there are a few
Lovely.
messages,
Right.
and you can join us in fellowship on Facebook Live as well. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Okay, so you need to leave now, but let's see what we can do for Nene Grace 12. Who's asking you to sing a song? I think they sing The Blessing by Kobe. I think that's his name. So I know she's not asking me to, because it's gonna be you, man. So you're going
No,
to
she meant
roar.
you. She meant you. She meant you.
No, I know she ain't talking to
You.
me. It's
No, I
you.
know. I
You
know
need to
Nana
roar.
Grace. I know Nana Grace, and she's asking you.
I don't know Nene
Um,
Grace. I don't know her.
so she wants you to sing. So that's why you're gonna sing.
No, it's you. You know you have
God
to go.
bless
So
you.
sing.
God bless you. Woo! God bless us in the song. I'm going into a prayer meeting, so I'm in a prayer mode. I'm in a prayer mode. You see, she's laughing. She said, "You." Can you log
Okay,
on,
you know
please?
what,
Can you log
Nene?
on?
Let me see. Let me see. This is what we'll do, Nene. Oh yeah, she said I meant Alan. There you go. She meant you. She
The
meant
thing is,
Alan. There you go.
I don't know the song. I don't know the song
Okay.
"Blessing" by
All right.
Kobe. I don't know the
God
song.
bless
So,
you
so
and keep you and cause his face to shine. I don't know it myself, but may his favor be upon you
upon you.
and your children and their children
Oh,
and your
that's the song.
children,
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Woo!
amen. I know that one. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, for the
Amen.
rest of it, next week I'll have a different guest. And if you get a chance to tune in, please tune in. Then Nene, maybe I'll get to sing it. And
That's
if
right.
Pastor
Then they will have to
Allen is
tune
in, I'll bring him on so that we can both sing it. Okay? But listen, I really appreciate your time. We've got 2 minutes
Thank
over
you.
time. Thank you. I really appreciate you coming on and being a blessing to us. You've said quite a number of things that will go on to bless those who watch it, those who have listened, and those who will still watch it later. I really appreciate this, and may God strengthen and build your
Amen.
ministry and
Amen.
cause you to continue to shine
Amen.
in what He has
Amen.
called to do, what He's called to do, and continue to roar, continue to roar. It's unique to you,
That's
continue
right.
to
That's
roar,
right.
and
That's right.
we shall roar
That's right.
together by the grace of God.
That's
Thank
right.
you so much for your
That's right.
time. Really
Thank you
appreciate it.
so much, brother, for
Thank you.
having me on your program. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless you.
God
God
bless you.
bless
Bye
you.
bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.